Thank you so much, Taylor. Thank you to the UVM community, the Gond Institute. I mean, this has really been an amazing couple of days. And so what I want to do is give you just a little snapshot, a little research vignette that is a deep dive into one project that I hope illustrates some of the broader themes in my lab. And so I want you to start actually by imagining a farm, imagining a place where food is produced. So take just a second. And maybe when you're doing that, you're imagining a beautiful bucolic Vermont farm where there's dairy and there's vegetables and apples. And that's an amazing image. But the unfortunate reality that shouldn't come as a lot of surprise to us is that hundreds of millions of acres in the US and across the world have been dramatically simplified in a biological and ecological sense. And this erosion of biodiversity has led to the dramatic decline in ecosystem services, right? These benefits that the environment provides for people, and also a lot of ecosystem disservices, ways that the environment can actually harm us. And so one of the things that my lab works on is well, what about diversifying farming systems? That is intentionally incorporating biodiversity back into farming systems in a number of different ways. How does that lead to a different suite of ecosystem services and ideally multiple beneficial ecosystem services, right? So the project that I want to talk about takes place in the central coast of California. It's also known as the salad bowl of California, where all the things that we should be eating more of are grown. But it's also a place that experiences a lot of environmental injustices. For example, contamination of groundwater by nitrate leaching, right? So these are environmental injustices. And some of the questions that we have are, well, what about diversified farming systems in this area? What can we learn about different practices that farmers are using, how they affect a whole suite of ecosystem services? So we do a lot of intensive field work. We measure everything from crop productivity to carbon storage in ecosystems, and also more services relevant directly to human health, like protection of water quality by reducing nitrate leaching. And kind of jamming a whole lot of work all together. One of the things that we've done is say, let's put all of these ecosystem services together in a single kind of multifunctionality framework where that's on the y-axis up here. And then let's look at what aspect is most related, most driving a positive relationship with the multifunctionality of these ecosystem services. And what we found is that it's actually the proportion of living vegetation over the past 5 years that was most associated with ecosystem service multifunctionality. So we took that initial step further. We worked with some geospatial experts to develop a whole map across the whole US of what we call continuous living cover, which is the proportion of the year that is covered with green vegetation. And that's just a little snapshot of this that you see here, where in this area, in the central coast, you see a lot of areas that only have living cover for 3 or 4 months of the year. And you would find that in a lot of other regions as well, right? So increasing continuous living cover, having those living roots in the ground is going to support these ecosystem services. That's, I think, my time.